One of my highest conviction stocks is up nearly 1,500% over the past 6 months, and it has been heavily beat down over the past 2 weeks alone. This stock has huge potential over the coming weeks and months, and we could potentially see it run up into new all-time highs very soon. In this video, we'll be talking all things Marathon Digital Holdings, which trades under ticker symbol MARA. I'll be recapping the business model of MARA in 45 seconds, do a fundamental and technical analysis of MARA, explain why MARA could be very explosive soon, and I'll be explaining how I plan to trade this stock. Let's do it. Just real quick before I get into this video, I want to congratulate everyone who bought Zora stock when I released my Zora stock analysis video 2 weeks ago, because this stock already ran up 20%. So back to the video. Marathon Digital, which I'll be referring to as MARA for the rest of this video, is basically a company that mines Bitcoin. Essentially, MARA acquires and operates the necessary specialized computer hardware equipment to run a system which mines verified Bitcoins. Investing in MARA is like investing in the shovel companies during the gold rush. This company is located in Las Vegas, Nevada, and many people often compare MARA to Riot Blockchain, which trades under ticker RIOT. But MARA has seemingly been outperforming Riot. MARA's price action is considered to be dependent on that of Bitcoin because MARA becomes more profitable as Bitcoin goes up in value. MARA's goal is to build the largest mining operation in North America at one of the lowest energy costs. So in Q1 of 2020, they began pivoting and aggressively scaling their mining equipment. They purchased 700 Pro miners, and they also eliminated long-term debt in Q1, which is great to see for investors. In Q2 of 2020, they completed a $6.9 million public offering and purchased lots more miners. In Q3, they partnered with Beowulf Energy to reduce mining costs, which is amazing to see because it gives them higher profit margins, and again, they purchased more miners. And you guessed it, in Q4, they purchased even more miners. Now here's where the real meat comes in. In Q1 of 2021, they increased their cash position to $500 million and rebranded the company to Marathon Digital Holdings, to show that they're serious about this business. From an investor's perspective, this is all very bullish so far. The owners of the company are showing that they're serious about being a big player in this industry, and they're demonstrating this by rebranding and heavily investing in nearly 100,000 miners. Now, if we take a look at the balance sheets, we continue to see very good news regarding MARA. Although MARA is not yet profitable, their revenue growth looks phenomenal. In the third quarter of 2020, they had a revenue of $840,000. The revenue picked up a sizable amount in the fourth quarter with about $2.64 million in revenue, which represents a whopping 850% year-over-year revenue growth. This revenue growth is ludicrous. 850% is not something you see every day, folks. MARA has not yet released Q1 earnings for 2021, but I'm excited to see the numbers that they put out. I'm expecting to see another high triple-digit revenue growth because Bitcoin itself really took off in the first quarter of 2021. Similar to Coinbase, I wouldn't be surprised at all if MARA revenue absolutely took off in Q1, potentially even making them a profitable company. Next, if we look at the management team of MARA, we see some very promising things. The executive chairman and CEO, Marek Okamoto, co-founded an asset management company called Viking Asset Management, where he serves as the president and managing member. Viking Asset Management funds over 300 companies, which indicates Marek Okamoto understands the traits of a successful company. Mr. Okamoto is also the chairman and CEO of a venture capital firm called First Stage Venture Capital, which invests in microcap and middle market public companies. He was also a past chairman of Optech System Holdings and a co-founder and president of TradePortal.com. Clearly, Marek Okamoto has lots of experience under his belt, and he has his head on straight. He understands how business works, and I think he's the perfect person to make MARA a destructive company. Jim Crawford, the chief operating officer, also shows some very promising traits. He was the founder of AudioEye Incorporation, which is a publicly traded software company with a valuation of about $260 million. He was also the chief information officer of Augme Technologies and founder of Kino Interactive. Like Marek Okamoto, Jim Crawford has loads of experience under his belt. Lastly, Simeon Salzman, the chief financial officer of Marathon Digital, also served as the senior vice president of the Las Vegas Monorail Company. All three of these gentlemen have outstanding experience in their fields and are set to make MARA as destructive and successful as possible. So finally, before discussing how I plan to trade and invest in this stock, let's cover the technical analysis and price action of MARA. Over the 3-year chart, it's clear that MARA is surfing the 9-day EMA, and over the 1-year chart, we see a consistent support level right here on the 50-day EMA. Over the past 2 weeks, MARA pulled right back to the 50-day EMA as a support level, indicating that this could be the place to buy MARA and this could be where it bounces up from. On the RSI of the 180-day chart, we see that MARA is oversold right now, which also indicates a good buy point. One thing that I want to point out with MARA is even though this stock is very volatile, it has a pretty consistent upward trend. A few things to be careful of MARA, just from a technical perspective, is the growth that this company just had in the last year. It seems like MARA has done nothing but shoot upwards over the last 6 months, which looks great, but it's also a little bit concerning at the same time. I'm left wondering if this stock will have a huge correction soon, or if it'll just keep its relatively consistent upward trend. Referring back to the 3-year time frame, MARA has consistently surfed the 9-day EMA, which is usually not sustainable. It's generally good for companies to have healthy pullbacks below the 9-day EMA, so if MARA does break below this EMA, it might turn into a disaster, especially with all the talk of this crypto bubble stuff. It's also important to point out that Bitcoin pulled back over the recent weekend, which might be a catalyst for a pretty slow week for MARA. So although MARA looks very bullish, it's probably smart to set up a stop loss if you plan to buy this stock. So this takes me to how I plan to trade this stock. I already have an average buy-in of about $33 in this company, and I sold half my shares near the peak at $56. I'm planning to buy back into MARA if it shows signs of consolidation and a reversal, but if MARA begins to break below the support level, however, I will wait until MARA hits a bottom to buy in again. This is slightly more of a short-term / speculative play just because there's lots of rumors about a crypto crash and the fact that Bitcoin dropped $7,000 over the weekend. But I also do think ultimately that over the long term, Bitcoin is here to stay and MARA will be a substantial player in the mining industry. I usually don't do much momentum or short-term trading, but MARA is one of those stocks that I have a very high conviction on. Comment below what stock you want me to analyze next. Subscribe for more stock news and stock analysis. Peace.